Now, when it comes to exploring the final frontier, Northern Ireland plays a part in the space industry and the sector continues to take off. Services and products from here are already involved in testing and also helping spacecrafts and satellites already in the skies above us. This week, there's a chance to really show what we can do at a major conference in Belfast. Here's our economics and business editor, John Campbell.
This engineering firm in Newry tests equipment for safety and reliability. A big part of its business is for aircraft manufacturers. But in recent years, it has set its sights higher, all the way to space.
And liftoff.
When the James Webb Telescope was launched 2 years ago, camera equipment on board the rocket had been tested here. That involved replicating the sort of shakes and shocks which happen during blastoff. The boss sees more opportunities.
Now we're seeing a proliferation of customers coming in from Wales, from Scotland, from England, who realise that there's a saturation in the market and they need to find alternative test solutions. This is huge.
The UK government is targeting space as a high-tech growth sector. And this week, some of the industry's main decision makers are in Northern Ireland. The UK Space Conference is a chance for local businesses to demonstrate their capabilities. The man promoting the sector says we already have many of the right skills.
What does space actually mean? You have to design a spacecraft, you have to build it, manufacture it, you've got to test it, then you have to launch it, then once it gets into space you have to deploy it, and then from there you have to collect and ingest all the data that comes off those spacecraft. In Northern Ireland we have all of those capabilities.
The global space industry has been growing in recent years, partially due to commercial rocket companies like Elon Musk's SpaceX. There's also been growth in the UK. But there was disappointment earlier this year when the Virgin Orbit satellite launch in Cornwall ultimately failed. The UK's top space official says a lot has been learned from that experience.
So I don't see the launch as a failure. But I do also recognise the enormous disappointment that we didn't complete the mission objectives of getting those satellites into orbit. I also think what it did was it created this understanding that perhaps wasn't there before about just what is possible in the UK and what our ambitions are.
The local industry will be hoping this week's event will be a giant leap for its prospects. John Campbell, BBC Newsline.